So welcome back to French Countryside Life. We find ourselves again this week in the bathroom. Andy's here, thank God. It's been a journey of discovery.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
The wall just to your right over there is been taken back to plasterboard. We're going to take that down. And this wall's going to be coming down next. As we said last week, there is you can see through the hole where the extractor fan was, and you can see the wall behind it. You can see the wallpaper.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it's the reason that they've made this door the weird shape that it is. They just cut it down and then just sliced a bit off the door to make it fit.
And the door frame.
Yeah, and the door frame. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So no doubt this wall hides something.
Yeah.
Quite what, we don't know, because the level of the room next door, the floor height is about here. So it's a risk taking it down, but the worst case scenario is we can just rebuild it later on in timber or metal tracking or something like that. So we'll gain some space and we'll see what's behind, and we can have a look at the pipes and the cables as well, which is...
Incidentally, that's a fine bit of clothing you got on there. Where did you get that?
It's funny you should mention this. These are available from our French house Renovation. It's very nice.
Good channel.
Yeah.
Link in description.
Yeah. Very, very good channel. One of the few that I do follow. It's a really nice, comfortable t-shirt, actually.
Good.
So, I think I made a mistake getting a white, though.
Yeah.
So I could wear it
I
twice.
know what you're thinking,
and that's it, to get rid of it. But it looks good, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You managed not to splash blood on it, which is good, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so all right, let's crack on. And also, incidentally, don't forget to go to Andy's channel and subscribe. AJ in France, also a link in the description, because we need all the help we can get. So brilliant. All right, well let's crack on with that, and
see what happens.
Okay, what could possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
So this is the original hole for the extractor fan. But you can see behind the wall is another wall with the original wallpaper. So I've been given the opportunity to test a tool. So this is the Lasgoo laser level LG 3D. And I thought what better opportunity, whilst I've got Andy here, to have someone who really can put it through its paces and give a real good test of it. So let's unbox it and see what we get. So it comes from Amazon, or it comes through Amazon. Really well packed by Amazon. And what we've got is a carry case. It appears, with a nice handle there. So let's open it. See what's inside. So we've got a bit of foam there to protect it. And we have got the level itself, which is there. Oop. A magnetic mounting base, which is there. 2 batteries. I think this is called a sighting plate. Is that right? Andy's sitting there looking at me.
Yes.
Yes. And I think that's called a C charger. So to recharge the batteries. And an instruction book. So I'll just put the case down now. Nice big manual in many languages, including English, so that's good. So, I understand that the batteries give 10 hours life per battery. They're both fully charged, which is good. Didn't expect that. So, you'll have seen that the bathroom upstairs has been detiled. I'm sure that's a technical term, detiled. And we'll show you upstairs shortly, and you'll see why this is going to come in to be so useful. Because none of the walls are square, none of the floor is level apart from one little bit of concrete. So this is really going to be put through its paces by someone who knows what they're doing. So I'm looking forward to seeing that myself. Okay, so I'll talk to you at the end of the video about how you can get one of these yourself. There's a big discount available through the link in the description. So we'll speak again about this after we've used it, I think. Okay, so we are back up in the bathroom. This wall has been taken down, which reveals the wallpaper that we reckon is about early 80s. Maybe, could be earlier.
Yeah, maybe earlier.
Yeah, it could be earlier, but you'll see on the wall there, contre-cloison, which means false wall apparently. So there was the false wall built in front. So that's all taken down and taken out. So now, just pan you around here and down a bit. So, Andy's just told me that we're going to be using the new Lasgoo 3D laser leveler, which has got a laser level on 360 planes. You'll see it in action in a sec anyway, but we need to get one corner straight, don't we? Or we need to find a level for one corner, is that correct?
Yeah, we need to work out if this corner's square. I mean, that's the main thing, because the shower tray, which is completely square, is going to go in the corner. If it isn't square, then you'll have a massive gap going to nothing at one side or both sides of the shower cubicle. It's difficult to seal and it's impossible to tile. So we're going to use this laser level then to see if the wall is square.
What are your first impressions with that tool?
Yeah, it seems okay for the price point. It's missing a couple of features of the really expensive ones, but for the money, it seems pretty good. So this is the first real test of what it will do. So yeah, hopefully it works well.
I'm sure it will. I guess we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out.
Okay, so let's see it in action.
Alright, the first test that we're going to do is check this corner and all the way along to make sure it's square, so that when we put the shower cubicle in, it fits properly. The way we're going to do that is measure a certain distance, say, I don't know, 200 millimeters there and 200 millimeters there.
From this wall, from the base of this wall, yeah.
And draw a line which is parallel to this wall. So then we can put the laser, one of the lasers, on this line directly. It will then shine another one at 90 degrees down there, and we just take a measurement from the laser to that wall to work out if it's square. If it is square, then all the measurements are going to be the same. If it isn't, it means it's not square, and we have to do something about it.
So it's basically like putting a set square in that corner.
A really big set square.
Yeah.
And the advantage to having one of these is you can project that line as long as you want.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's incredibly accurate by doing it like that. So I guess we'll get started.
Oh, yeah, let's crack on.
Right, let's mark stitches.
Oh, yeah.
So if we mark 200 here, hopefully you can see that. 200 here. And then to turn this laser, when the laser level's off here, it locks the pendulum so it doesn't get damaged in transit, which is a really good idea. By opening it, you switch on the laser, but it's got all the different levels. So if we press the mode button, we'll get to the ones that we want when the laser's down there, so don't confuse ourselves with all the others. So if we now put this laser down, if it's flashing, it means the laser itself is not straight. When you put it on a flat surface and you've got a constant line, then the laser's doing its thing. So now we can see the green line is near that mark there, near that mark. So we need to make sure that that line is exactly on both those black marks, which takes a while, but there you go. There we go. So this cross line this way is, we now know, is parallel to this wall.
I understand, yeah. Yeah, I understand. No. So then when I'm going to measure this one, which I can see from here.
Yeah, I can see it. It's super not square, if that's a thing. So we'll take 3 measurements just to be sure, and see how we go from there. So somewhere around here, it's 297. And we can write 297. And then we'll take a measurement somewhere here, if we can. 270. And then we'll take a measurement down this end, somewhere around here. 230.
Jeez, so 67 mil.
Yeah, so you can see that from this point here, around where that is, yeah, there's 67 millimeters of deviation in either this wall or the wall where the door is. So we have to make that corner square. So we can now, if we wanted to, draw a line on there as a reference point that we can measure from later on. So we can use this line here.
Okay, we just hand the camera down so we can see what you're doing. Okay, good.
Okay, so instead of having the laser there all the time, we can mark our lines here, as Colin would say, datum line. Yeah, it's good that.
Yeah.
And
It's only because I watch a lot of YouTube.
there you go. So we can then use this later on to measure from.
Yeah.
When we putting the new wall in, so we don't have to keep the laser on or damage it or anything like that.
Yeah.
So we've actually got a square set up now.
Good.
So that's one of the most useful uses of a cross-line laser.
Yeah. I was going to say, because that's only using 2 of the 3 planes it's got.
Yeah, that's right. Some of the other things it can do we'll come to as and when we want to use it. But so that's one of the benefits of having a cross-line laser, and it's great for laying out tiles. Yeah, if you've ever watched any of my tiling videos, you'll see my brother use these. Everyone. You see my brother using these all the time for laying out tiles in massive houses, 50, 60 square metres, because they are so accurate, much more accurate than a square.
Yeah.
So that's an excellent use for this. So as and when we come across the next use for it, we'll show you. So
Yeah, brilliant. But I think we can safely say that we're impressed with it so far for the price point, as you said.
For the price, it's brilliant. It's really, really good. The line is very, very visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it so far.
Good. Happy days. All right. Moving swiftly on.
Right. So Colin is operating the camera. So I'll just explain what we're doing. I just thought it'd be a good idea to test the accuracy of the lasers between each other. So there's there's one laser, but 3 lenses on each side of the laser. So we've drawn a line on the wall, as you can see here, on my right, in black. And this line was drawn by spirit level, a really old spirit level in 2 parts, so bottom half and top half. We've got the laser level down here on the floor. As you can see, the green line is from, shall we say, on the long side, and it's right in the middle of the black felt tip line there at the bottom. And as it runs up all the way, you can see it starts to go to the right of the black line. Now, there's nothing wrong with the laser. The laser is perfectly level. This is just an old spirit level, but we're using it to demonstrate the accuracy in which the lenses are fitted to the side of the machine. So as you can see at the top here, the difference between the black line and the green laser is about 1.5 millimeters right at the top. So we're going to spin the laser around on the floor and use the laser on the other side to do the same thing, and we'll see if it's the same distance at the top, and that will show how well screwed to it and how well aligned the lenses are on the laser. So let's have a look. I have to excuse my stitches. Turn it around. So now we're using this lens on this side in the same place. There we are. And at the bottom there, it's exactly the middle of the black line. And then if we follow the green line up all the way to the top, we're looking at about 1.5 again. So that's means that they're attached to the laser very accurately. So you can use either side. You don't have to keep remembering to use the same side for each level, which is a good plus point. It's very accurate.
All right, so it's the next day. We went to Leroy Merlin yesterday, which is a massive, huge, great DIY store.
That's exactly how they pronounce it as well.
Leroy Merlin.
No. Leroy Merlin.
That's it.
Something.
Yeah.
No, that's probably not how they pronounce it either. But yeah, it's best we can do.
Yeah, that'll have to do.
Yeah.
I think we bought half the plumbing section.
Yep.
And I didn't realise how much stuff goes into a tiny little bathroom. But there you go. All right, so it is a bank holiday today in France, so we're not really allowed to make too much noise. So the project for today is to install some spotlights in the ceiling. There's no access to the loft from inside the house, and as far as I'm aware, the only access is from that little hatch up there.
The Blair Witch door.
Yeah, the Blair Witch door. So I guess I've never been up there, so I guess we'll see. Yep, alright, so let's get on with that. Okay, so this is the loft space. Not a lot of room in there. But turns out it's boarded. Well, at least this end is. I guess we'll see. Good.
So we're back with the Lasgoo laser. We need to work out what space we've got for where the new door's going to go, and then subsequent to that we can then work out where the lights are going to be on the ceiling. So if we use the laser level to mark the edge of the shower cubicle, so we can do that by measuring the width of the shower tray, which is 800. You can see I've got a mark there, 800. And then use the laser to line up on that mark we've made, and then we can then mark several more times on the line like that, and then remove the laser, and then use a straight edge. Doesn't have to be a spirit level, it can be any straight edge. And because the laser is more accurate than the spirit level, especially one this old, put it on the marks like that. It's just an easy way of marking out where the edge of the shower is going to be, up to this line. So that's another use of the laser level, to really accurately put on that wall where it's going to be. It's actually better than the spirit level, because if you look at this wall, there's actually a slight bow in it. You can see behind the spirit level, which actually affects how it goes from the top half to the bottom half. Where the laser level, you don't get that problem. The bottom mark will be exactly in line with the top mark if you're at 90 degrees. So that's pretty good. So we'll now carry on, measure this in, and then come back to you when we're laying out the spotlights.
Okay, so what we've done is used the Lasgoo 3D laser to locate the position of the spotlights. So there, and back to there, and back to there. Good. So this is the final demonstration of the capabilities of the Lasgoo 3D. What we are doing is getting the right level for the switches that's going to control the lights in the bathroom and the switch for the fan. So we have, you can see there, got the laser level in the middle of the switch there. So because this has got a 360 function, where the laser goes all the way around, we can then transfer that level to this wall here. So you can see. So we're now going to know that that is exactly level with the centre of the previous switch on the other side of the wall.
That's particularly useful, very useful. In fact, if like here you've got an uneven floor, which the other way to do it, of course, is measure it with a tape measure. But if you have a floor that's not level, then you won't get the same height. But this does away with all that. If you use the level like this, all the light switches will be exactly the same height. That's quite a good use for the laser.
Good job. So it's the end of the day. So let me just show you what we've got accomplished today. Quite amazing, really. So the power comes up from the breaker box downstairs, through the conduit, along there, just following the black conduit there, under there, under there, under there, under there, and I've had a lesson in what seemed to me really complex wiring, but Andy made it really simple to understand, and I've managed to do all that, which is amazing. So we've got conduit going off there to the fan and the lights, and this conduit going off here to the switch outside, which I'll show you what it goes to. All right, Andy. To the switch outside. And then there was light, and it was good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. So there we are, boys and girls. That's it. So fish fingers for dinner tonight. So what started off as a bank holiday special where we had to be quiet. So you know, Andy saw the sense of getting the electrics done because that's nice and quiet. We got up in the loft, and we had noticed, or I had noticed, and Andy had noticed when I spoke to him that there was a bit of a sag in the roof, and but only on one side. And Andy suggested before we got up in the loft that it was what's that bit called?
Ridge beam.
The ridge beam was cracked, and well, sure enough, we got up there, and it looks like halfway along the ridge beam there's been a knot in the wood, and obviously over the years it's cracked. It's
a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. Someone's been up there and tried to bodge it up, haven't they, and put some.
Yeah.
You know, put some wood in the space, but we've got a plan of action for that, so that's we'll add that to the list.
Add it to the list.
Yeah. All right, anything to add to all that?
Not really. It's been quite a successful day now. We've got everything done we wanted to do, just in a different way. In fact, a better way, as far as I'm.
Yeah, because as we said earlier, that the plan was to do all the wiring for the lights from the loft down, but it turned out that there was such a small space, wasn't there?
Yeah, we never.
That it was no.
Definitely not.
It was.
I would never have made it.
It was bad enough just in the, you know, in
the entrance bit.
In the bit with the most room. So yeah, no. So that's not fun. Good.
Yeah, good. So good end of the day.
Okay. All right. So like I say, fish fingers for tea. Okay. So it's day 57.
Feels like it.
And that's the end of this week's video. Obviously, it's going to continue into next week. So just got a few little things to cover before we go. the quote of the week, which I forgot last week, but the quote of the week is from a very wise chap called Brian Hill, who deserves a mention. So he said, a mechanic knows how to hit it, an engineer knows where to hit it, a technician knows how hard to hit it, and a scientist knows why to hit it. So there will be a link to Lasgoo in the description and in the comment, where if you want to purchase one of the Lasgoo 3D laser levelers, you'll get a big discount. So go and check that out. There'll be links to Andy's channel, AJ in France, which is brilliant, which you definitely need to go and look at and subscribe to immediately. And a link to Grahame's channel, Our French House Renovation, for the appearance of the fabulous t-shirt.
Yeah, excellent colour. Really.
Good, it is good, yeah. And he's a smashing fella as well. So if you'd like to give the video a thumbs up, and share it on social media, and press the notification bell, and maybe think about subscribing if you're not subscribed already. And all that leaves to say is mine, there you go, and we'll see you soon.